Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Krisha Mistry and today I am here with another video on new chapter, that is maxima and minima. I hope that you have solved the questions which I have given you in the last class, and I'll try to upload video answers of that as soon as possible. But for now, let's start with our chapter. I have divided this chapter into two different parts. First part, we'll see how to solve the functions and find maxima and minima, and in second part we'll have applications of it. So let's start today's session with part 1 to find functions maxima and minima. So before starting with the questions, I want to introduce some concepts over here. So maxima and minima, there are two types of maxima and minima. First type is local and second type is absolute. So there are local maxima minima and absolute maxima minima. So you could see a graph over here. These are the points, right, where you could attain maximum or minimum, right? Now, local means what? In their locality, they are the highest or the least point. Means if we see this point in their locality, and if we compare this point with these 2 points, right, so we could see that in their locality this is the highest point. This is lower than this and this is also lower than this. So this is the highest point which we could attain over here. Now we could see this also. This is also the highest point in their locality. Same way, this is also the highest point in their locality. Similarly, this is the least point in their locality. This also. But there is the one point which is highest than all, right? This is the point which is highest than this and this also, and this is the point which is least than this and this, right? You could compare this, it would be least. Okay, so this is the absolute minima and this is the absolute maxima, that it attains the highest point overall. So moving on further, we have two different methods for finding maxima and minima. So I'll write down over here methods. That is first derivative test, and second is second derivative test. So I'll show you how to find using first derivative test. Suppose that you are given with an equation something like y is equals to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, so using first derivative test means you will differentiate it only one time. So in first step you will differentiate it, you will get something like 2ax plus b. Now this is the first step. Okay, in second step you will put derivative equal to 0, and then using this you will find turning points. Okay, find turning points. This is our third step. Now we have find the turning points. Now what we'll do, I'll suppose that I got turning points like C, D and E. Now I'll make cases. So in case 1, what I'll do, I'll take a value when x is equals to c. Okay, so now we'll find when x is less than c. So in case 1, x is c. Now we'll take a value which is slightly less than c, right? Now using this we'll put the value of c in y dash. Okay, now put the value, this value means suppose c is 8, so take 7.9. okay, 7.5, so put 7.5 means example I have taken 7.5, so put this value 7.5 in y dash. Okay, and suppose I got a value positive. On putting a value of 7.5 in y dash, I got a positive value. Now similarly we'll do when x is greater than c, slightly greater, means what we could do, if it's 8, I'll suppose C is 8. So slightly greater means I'll suppose X to be 8.5, 8.1, whatever you want to take. I have taken 8.5. Now I'll put in Y dash. So on putting in Y dash, I got a value supposed to be a negative. Okay. So from here, what could I conclude? That sign changes from positive to negative. Okay. So it would be maxima. Now how? I'll tell you that. First, it changes from positive to negative. So remember trick. If X is less than C, then you get positive. Then of course it will be maxima, and this should be negative. Okay, there are 3 types of cases, that is maxima, minima and inflection. So here we got inflection over here, right? Now, why it's maxima only? Why it's not minima? I'll show you from graph. Suppose this is a equation in a graph. So it's turning from positive to negative. Means what? If I take a point over here, so I'll make a tangent. Okay, so this is the tangent of this point, and this is theta, right? And theta is an acute angle. You could see theta is an acute angle. So tan theta would be positive. What is differentiation? First derivative test, we have find y dash, right? So what is y dash? Y dash is this only, slope, right? Of course y dash is slope, and you got y dash as positive on putting turning point. So means tan theta is positive, means slope is positive initially. Now when we took a value, means this is C point. Okay, first we took 7.5, this we took 8.5. Now on 8.5, when I plot the graph, I got a tangent theta is obtuse, right? Now over theta is obtuse. So what? Tan theta will be negative, right? So what we got from here? That it's changing from positive to negative, right? From positive to negative means we'll get slope like this. What it means? That C is the maximum point. So now let's take new case, that is case 2, right? So in case 2, you could see over here, I have taken turning points at C, D, E. For C, I told you how to find. Now I have taken D point. Suppose when X is equals to D, right? So firstly, I'll take D as something like 2. Okay. So when D is 2, so X should be slightly less than 2. That is, I'll take X as equals to 1.5. Okay. So on doing this, I got a value for y dash. Now put this value in y dash. So I got a value of y dash to be negative. Okay. And then when I took when X greater than 2, slightly greater than, means I took X as a 2.5. So now what happened? I got y dash as positive. On putting this value, I got y dash as positive. So from here you could see the change, that is from negative to positive. That means it's minima. This D is a minimum point. How? Again see in the graph. I have taken D as 2. Right. Now this is a point 1.5. This is 2.5. Now when I make a tangent over here, I got theta as obtuse. Right. This is an obtuse angle. So tan theta would be negative over here. When I take 2.5, I got theta to be acute. So tan theta will be positive. Right. That only I got from firstly negative to positive. Means this is a minimum point. Okay. So from this we got minimum point. Now we'll take case 3. Case 3. That is, I have taken a turning point X equals to E. Now suppose this E is 1, right? So firstly I'll take X is slightly less than E, that is X is equals to 0.5. So putting this value in Y dash, I got Y dash as negative. Okay, suppose it's negative. And when I took x slightly greater than e, that is x is equals to 1.5, then I got y dash again as negative. Now in this case, this is a point of inflection, means its value doesn't changes. So it remains same. That is, this is a point of, for this graph would be something like this. Means I have taken at this point. Okay, and if I'll take this or this, it's same only. Negative means negative or positive means positive. Here it either could be negative or positive, right? So this is a point of inflection. Alright, so now let's see second derivative test. In second derivative test, you'll differentiate a function twice. Like say I have a function y is equals to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. Alright, now first step is to differentiate it. So you will get 3ax square plus 2bx plus c. Alright, now next, find turning points. How? You will put y dash equals to 0, that is 0 is equals to 3ax square plus 2bx plus c. From here you will get your turning points. Now I suppose that I got turning points as E, F and G. Alright, now what I'll do, in third step I'll differentiate it again. That means 6ax plus 2b. This is my differentiation. Now I'll put the values turn by turn. For first case I'll put e as x equals to e, right? Then put this value in this, that is y double dash is equals to 6ae plus 2b. Now if you get this quantity as greater than 0, then this point e is a minima. Okay, is a point of minima. If you get less than 0, then it's a point of maxima. And if you get equals to 0, then it's a point of inflection. Okay, means neither maxima nor minima. In its locality, its value is equals to its further or before part, right? So this is a point of inflection. Now in an exam they could ask you to find value of maxima, minima or inflection. So what you just need to do is put this value E, F, G. If they ask you minima, I got E as minima. Alright, so if they ask you value of minima, you will put value of E into X and find Y. So that is a value of minima. If they ask you maxima, suppose I got F as a maxima, then I'll put X equals to F in this and I'll get the value of Y. That is a point of maximum, value of maximum. Alright, so now let's start with the questions. First, examine the function x minus 3 to the power 5 into x plus 1 to the power 2 for maxima and minima. So I suppose that this function is y. So y is equals to x minus 3 to the power 5 plus y plus 1 to the power 2. Now I'll differentiate it. So I'll show this question using two methods, right? First by first derivative test and second by second derivative test. So this is method 1, that is using first derivative test. Okay, so I'll differentiate it. Step 1 is differentiating. That would be equal to 5 x minus 3 to the power 4 into x plus 1 to the power 2 plus 2 x plus 1 into x minus 3 to the power 5. So you know differentiation, I used chain rule and differentiated it. Okay, now I'll take common. So it become easier for me to find turning points. So I could take x minus 3 to the power 4 as common and x plus 1 as common. Now inside it's left 5 x plus 1 plus 2 x minus 3. Solving it further, I'll get x minus 3 to the power 4 and x plus 1 into 5x plus 5 plus 2x minus 6. So y dash is equals to x minus 3 to the power 4 into x plus 1 into 7x minus 1. Alright, now turning points. So putting y dash as 0, x minus 3 to the power 4 into x plus 1 to the power 1 and 7x minus 1 to the power 1. So there are two methods further. One is by making a wavy curve method, right? If you know, then x possible values of x would be 3, then minus 1 and 1 by 7. These are the possible values, means these are the turning points, right? So using wavy curve method, we could plot it minus 1, 1 by 7 and 3. But this wavy curve method is not used in ISC since it's a JEE method. So how to use this method I'll show you, just to find and recheck your question that whether you have done correctly or not. What you'll do, first is 3, okay, over here. So here it would be positive every time, okay. On the left side, right side, it would be positive every time. Now we'll see this. Its power for 3, its power is 4. Now if the power is positive, okay, so it sign will not change over here on left side, okay. If the power is positive, then sign won't change on the left side, and if the power is odd, then sign will change. Now next is 1 by 7. So 1 by 7 sign is plus 1, right? So it's odd, so that sign will change. Next is minus 1. For minus 1, its power is 1. So again it's odd, so sign will change. And this is your wavy curve method. Now from here you can see which are the positives. This and this couldn't be positive. Why? The sign didn't change. Sign didn't change means it's a point of inflection. This is just a short trick to recheck your answer whether you have done correctly or not, right? But you can't use method in exam. In rough work, you could. We'll see from left to right for sign change, right? So it changed from positive to negative. Means from positive to negative means it's maxima. And 1 by 7, it changed from negative to positive, right? For this there was a change from negative to positive, means it's minima. So 1 by 7 is point of minimum, minus 1 is a point of maxima, and 3 is a point of inflection. Alright, this is a previous year question which I have picked. So I just showed you how to solve it easier way. Now using method, how to do, see to it. We'll take case 1 when x, this is case 1, when x, first I'll take minus 1, when x is less than minus 1. So taking this, I'll write down y dash over here, that is this y dash, x minus 3 to the power 4, x plus 1, 7x minus 1. So I'll suppose that x value is minus 1.1 I'll take, which would be more easier, minus 1.1. Alright, so our y dash value means if I put minus 1.1 over here, this would be negative, but its power is even, so it would be positive. You could find the value and also say, but you could directly also write positive. Then if I'll take minus 1.1, this is greater than 1, so this would be negative, this quantity. Then minus 1.1 multiplied by 7, so again it will be negative quantity. So you could see over here that all round means this negative will get positive. So this is positive quantity when it's less than minus 1. See, less than minus 1, it's positive. Now when x is greater than minus 1, let's suppose x is minus 0.9. Okay, when we'll take this y dash, putting 0.9, this won't be get changed. Why? It's even sign, so it would be positive only every time, whether it's positive or negative, this won't differ. So this is positive. Now minus 0.9 is less than 1, so means this is also positive. Now 0.9, this will get negative. Why? Minus plus, but it sign will remain negative, so negative. So our final answer, seeing this, will be negative. See, when x is greater than -1, it's negative. So sign changed from positive to negative. Every time we'll see from left to right. Means number line goes from left to right, right? So every time see from left to right what it's changing. So from left to right it changes from positive to negative. Means this is a point of maxima, right? Now value of maxima, what it would be? Now I'll put -1. Put -1 in y, right? Putting -1 in y. So -1 it will get 4, right? -4 to the power 5 and -1 minus 1. -1 plus 1, right? So y will be equal to 0. This will get 0 and whole quantity would be 0. So 0 is a maximum value which we could attain, and point of maxima is -1. So in answer you'll write that the function gets maximum value as 0 at point x equals to -1. This way you will write your final answer. Now let's see case 2. Alright, in case 2 x is equals to 1/7. For 1/7, first thing what we'll do, when x is less than 1/7, that means I could take 1/8, right? Now putting into the y dash, I'll write down y dash over here. What is y dash? X minus 3 to the power 4 into x plus 1 into 7x minus 1, right? This is y dash. Now we will put this value in this. Then you could see that this quantity will be positive anyways because the power is even. So this would be positive. This would be also positive. It's 1/8 plus 1, which will give positive value. This will give negative value. Why? This will be less than 1. Okay. This thing means x into 7 into 1/8. So 7/8, which is less than 1. That is something about 0 point something. So which is less than 1. So it will be negative. So in whole it's a negative quantity. Secondly, when x is greater than 1/7, that means I could say 1/6. Alright. Saying that, putting into y dash, this would be positive only. Whether I keep 1/6, any quantity, anything, it would be positive because of its power. So it's positive. This one would be positive because this is also positive, positive and positive. So positive. This thing will be also positive. This value, why? 7/6, which means 1 point something. Greater than 1, that means it's a positive quantity. So in whole, the function is positive. So now you could see change, that is from negative to positive, means it's minima. So 1/7 is point of minima. Next to it, value of y. What would be the value of y at x equals to 1/7? So keeping that value, it would be 1/7 minus 3 to the power 4 into 1/7 plus 1. So solving this, you'll get the answer. Now let me show you next case. Case 3. When x is equals to 3. Okay, so first we'll suppose x is less than 3, that is something 2.9. Let me write down y dash. Our y dash is equals to x minus 3 to the power 4 into x plus 1 into 7x minus 1. So saying y dash, put this value. This will be positive only. Positive. This both are positive, so it will be positive. This will be also positive, right? Already 7 is greater than 1 and multiplication of 2.9, which will give a greater quantity. So this is also positive. So in a whole, it's a positive function. Now next, when x is greater than 3. Alright, so putting into a y dash, I'll suppose at 3.1. So putting into y dash, this will be positive only. This will be also positive. And 7 is already positive, and this is also going to multiply with this. So it would be greater than 1. So this is also positive. So you could see over here that sign didn't change from left to right. Means 3 is point of inflection. Right? So from here you solved this question. Okay. Now moving on to next question. The question is, find the turning points of the curve y equals to x to the power 5. Okay. So y is equals to x to the power 5. So first step is to differentiate. So y dash is equals to 5 x to the power 4. Alright. Now equate y dash equals to 0. So putting 0, 5 x to the power 4, it will be x will come as 0. So one of the turning point is 0. Now differentiate it again. 5 4s are 20, x to the power 3. Now put this 0 into this. It will get 0 only. So from this we could see that its sign doesn't changes. I have seen it by second derivative test. To show you second derivative test. Right, from first derivative we can also do y is equals to x to the power 5 is there. Then y dash is equals to 5x to the power 4. So turning point would be x to the power x equals to 0. Right, now when x equals to 0, so first case in that x is less than 0, that is minus 1 I am taking. Less than 0 you could take minus 1. So putting into this y dash, okay, I will get positive quantity. Y dash as a positive. Why? X minus 1 to the power 4. So it's even. So it would be positive. Similarly, when x is greater than 0. So I take 1. Alright. Put it again in a y dash. So it would be positive only. So y dash is positive. So from here only you could come to see that x equals to 0 is a point of inflection, and this is the answer. So turning point is 0 and 0 is the point of inflection. Alright, now another question we'll see. Okay, I'll write down over here question. Show that sine p theta, sine to the power p is there, okay, sine to the power p theta dot cos to the power q theta attains a maximum value when theta is equals to tan inverse under root p by q. Alright, so we'll see this question. Now first I assume it to be y. So y is equals to sine to the power p theta into cos to the power q theta. First step is to differentiate. So I'll easily differentiate it. Y dash using chain rule you'll differentiate it. So p sine p minus 1 theta dot cos theta means sine theta differentiation cos theta, and then as it is cos to the power q theta plus q will come out now, q cos to the power q minus 1 theta into differentiation of cos theta, that is minus sin theta, alright, into sin to the power p theta. From here I could take out many things common, so I'll take out that. First of all, it's sin to the power p minus 1 theta. This would be common in both. Sin to the power p minus 1 theta. Similarly, cos to the power q minus 1 theta. Cos to the power q minus 1 theta will also come out as common. Now in inside it is left with p into, this is cos theta, and from here we have taken cos q minus 1. So from here one cos theta is left and one cos theta is there. Means cos square theta plus, this sign is there, so I'll put negative only over here. So negative. Then I have taken this as common, so this won't come. Now from here I have taken p minus 1 sin theta, right? So one theta sin theta will be left and one sin theta is there. So q sin square theta. This is left as a common. Now you could see in that question that tan theta is there. Now here somewhere I need to take tan theta. So what I'll do, I'll take cos square theta as a common. So tan theta will come over there. I'll show you. Sin to the power p minus 1 theta, cos to the power q minus 1 theta into cos square theta I have taken as common. So what will happen? This will be p minus cos square theta will come in denominator since we have taken common. So q sin square theta upon cos square theta. Okay. Now you could see y is equals to sin to the power p minus 1 theta. Now q minus 1 plus 2 will be cos to the power q plus 1 theta. Alright. Then p minus q. This is tan theta whole square. So tan square theta. Now my next step is to put y dash equals to 0. So I will put y dash equals to 0. So it will be 0 is equals to sin to the power p minus 1 theta into cos to the power q plus 1 theta into p minus q tan square theta. Alright. Now we know that we need this one only, this tan theta one only, and I could see here it's something like that only. So I don't equate sin to the power p minus 1 theta equals to 0 and cos to the power q plus 1 theta is equals to 0. Why? Because I need this only. Why should I see values of this also? So directly I will take this possible value, p minus q tan square theta is equals to 0. From here I could write p is equals to q tan square theta. So p by q is equals to tan theta. Then square is also there, right? So now I will take a root over here. P by q is equals to tan theta. Then theta is equals to tan inverse under root p by q. I got this value, right? Now I have to see that whether it's maximum quantity or not. So how we'll see? I got this value, but I need to prove now that this is maximum. We have not yet proved that this is maximum. So now we'll prove this further, how it's maximum. You could do either second derivative test or first derivative test. Here I am doing first derivative test. Okay. So we got theta is tan inverse under root p by q. So now solving it further, when theta is less than tan inverse under root p by q. Okay, now we don't have some fixed quantity which we should insert over here. So what we'll do, we'll simplify it. How? We'll take tan again over here. So tan theta is less than under root p by q. So now squaring on both the sides, we'll get tan square theta should be less than p by q. So taking q over here, so q tan square theta should be less than p. Now in last page I got that. See over here, we got p minus q tan square theta is equals to 0. Okay, so I'll write down over here p minus q tan square theta is equals to 0. Right, I got this over back side. So if q tan square theta is less than p, you could see over here, if q tan square theta will be less than p, so our y dash, right, y dash will be positive. Alright, since this quantity is positive. Okay, similarly, when theta is greater than tan inverse under root p by q, so simplifying it again, tan square theta should be greater than p by q. So q tan square theta should be greater than p. So q tan square theta will be greater than p. Therefore, what will happen? It will be negative quantity. Right. So our y dash will be negative. So we could see change, that is from positive to negative. Right. Positive to negative, which means it's a maximum point. So theta is equals to tan inverse under root p by q. We attain a maximum value. So from this we got our answer. Now moving on to next question. I'll write over here question: find the maximum value of log x to the base e upon x in 0 greater than less than x less than infinite. So we need to find maximum value of this in this range. Okay, so I'll suppose it to be y equals to log x to the base e upon x. Alright, so first step is to differentiate it. I'll differentiate 1 by x into x using chain rule. Okay, minus log e to the power e base. Okay, this we got over here upon x square. This is the formula of differentiation. Now next we'll equate y dash equals to 0. That means 0 is equals to 1. This is 1 minus log x to the base e upon x square. Alright, so we don't count this x square. This will go over here and it will become 0 anyway. So 0 is equals to 1 minus log x to the base e. So log x to the base e is equals to 1. Now we'll apply anti-log. Okay, so x would be equal to e to the power 1. If you don't know how to do anti-log, I'll show you over here that something like log x to the base e is equals to y is there. Alright, now we need to remove this log. So what we'll do, we cut out this log and this e will go as a base for this, means x, e will come and this will become power of e. So this is how we equate. Now we got x equals to e. We need to see that whether it's maximum or not. Either use first derivative test or second derivative test. Alright, here I am using first derivative test, so that when x is less than e. Okay, so I have taken x is less than e. Now my y dash is 1 minus log x to the base e upon x square. Alright, so we know log e to the base e will be equal to 1. Now it's less than e, so will be equal less than 1 means what? Our y dash will be a positive quantity since it's less than 1. So numerator is positive and in denominator there is even sign, right? Even power is there, so it will be always positive. So our y dash will be positive always, right? In second case, when x is greater than e, so y dash, our y dash e, log e to the base e is 1. Now e, it's greater than e, so it will be greater than 1, means numerator is negative and denominator is positive, right? So whole it will be negative quantity, right? So you would see change, that is from positive to negative, means maximize there, right? So our y attains maximum value at x equals to e. Alright, now you could do it by double derivative test, means differentiate this y dash one more time. You will get means y dash less than 0, means it's a maximum. Now moving forward to next question, I'll write down over here. Next question, the question is find the value of a and b if y is equals to a ln x plus b x square plus x has its extreme values at x equals to -1 and x equals to 2. So firstly we are given with a function y is equals to a ln x plus b x square plus x, and it attains maximum value at x equals to -1 and x equals to 2. So first we'll differentiate this function. Y dash is equals to a by x plus 2bx plus 1. Now we'll equate this as 0. So 0 is equals to a by x plus 2bx plus 1. Now turn by turn put value of -1 and 2. So first putting a value when x equals to -1. So 0 is equals to a by -1 minus 2b plus 1, right? So taking it over here, a plus 2b is equals to 1, right? Now when x is equals to 2, so 0 put over here, a by 2 plus 4b plus 1. So I'll take this both over here, a by 2 minus 4b is equals to 1. Alright, so on equating this both equations, I got this equation 1 and equation 2. Two variables are there. On equating both equations, we'll get a as 2 and b as -half. Guys, we complete our video over here only. Few questions are left which I'll cover in next part. Since this whole it's of 1 hour, but I'm not able to upload whole of 1 hour in one go, so I'll upload it in a parts, but definitely I'll upload very soon as much as possible. For now we'll end over here. We'll start in next class. So in part 1 this was the lecture 1 and lecture 2 I'll upload very soon. Thank you.